location at 1413 Hecla Way in Louisville. Thanks, Glauber and Mike, for joining us on the episode. Chris, what is your date night sushi spot in Denver?
I am going to go with Izakaya Den.
Oh, okay. Going South Pearlskis, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And, I didn't say Sushi Den because I actually like Izakaya that's connected. They're connected right there, and chances are you're getting a lot of the same product and things like that. And I like Izakaya's kind of vibe.
Okay.
And they have some different dishes that you probably can't get at Sushi Den. Again, I haven't been to those restaurants.
Well, I mean, the pandemic.
The pandemic is not kind to a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, and I mean, we waited in line right as they reopened for Izakaya back in March or something, and the hamachi was fantastic, as was the sushi. So you really can't go wrong no matter what you order. But that's another one of those ones where you're going to get the same quality fish as their brother restaurant next door, but also a couple of those forward-thinking dishes as well that may be a little bit crazier, off-the-cuff, wild.
Yeah.
I like it. So you did good on yours. So mine is going to be one that oftentimes is probably overlooked when talked about sushi that's high-end or nice date night, and that's Sushi Sasa, right there hidden behind REI and Wilderness Exchange on the ramp up to go to Lohi from downtown, right past my Brothers Bar.
Okay.
There's a little sushi spot over there, and they have delicious sushi.
Sushi.
I know. It doesn't help when you have cotton mouth. But it is a fantastic spot. I feel like it's an intimate setting. They have very delicious fresh fish, and everything is kind of cooked and created with purpose. So I think that is going to be I'm putting somebody, if you haven't found a reservation at Sushi Den or Izakaya, try out our friends over at Sushi Sasa. I got it that time.
Yeah, you did. Nailed it.
Bada bing, bada bing. Well, yeah, okay, so I think there's a couple that were for honorable mention, but then we're going to get into our this week's episode, our guest interview. But honorable mentions, Matsuhisa. Obviously, the famed chef from California, has locations in the mountains. And
that's crazy fucking expensive.
Yeah, over in Cherry Creek.
Yeah.
That was kind of in that. And then Bamboo Sushi. I think they're a great little sleeper location over there, nestled between Postino and Recess. They should also be in conversation for happy hour and sleeper spots. They're serving us some pretty good sushi dishes over there.
Nice.
Yeah. But, Chris, I know you got a fantasy football draft. We have a loaded week. Stay tuned. After this episode, Thursday, we'll give you the whole rundown and a recap from Death & Co.'s event for the Rhino Yacht Club's return to Park Hill. So congrats to Mary Allison and McLean. We're excited for you and the whole team and family, and we are excited to party with y'all this week.
Let's get those guys on.
Yeah, let's definitely get them on.
Yeah, and go try some sushi.
There you go. Sushi and Susan Smith. There we go. Until next episode, enjoy this interview. Cheers. And I couldn't be more excited for this episode. We're going to sit down with two former guests, members of the Seed & Smith team. We have Mike Limpert and Robbie Roglinski.
Close.
A.K.A. Glauber.
Rabluski,
sorry. A.K.A. Blotto or Glauber. We're going to go with Glauber for this evening, but we're excited about the episode. You heard Robbie's voice right there, but we're coming to you from the new location. You heard us talk a little bit about it over the last week or so's episodes, but they're opening up a new dispensary up here in Louisville. So we're coming to you from South Boulder Street, just down the block from the new dispensary. It's going to be located at 1413 Hecla Way in Louisville, Colorado. So for those that are shopping, or for the young families and the parents that are potheads and just the hip young folks that hang out in this area, you've got a new dispensary in the neighborhood, and by God, is it a good one. Not only do they play the hits, they have all of your name brand stuff when you're looking for your edibles and your sodas and all that shit. They've got all of that, your Wilds, your Wanas, your Ripples. They've got you covered in that aspect, but they're also serving up dank-ass product that they make in-house from their location down in the Green Mile down in Denver. They have award-winning products such as their High Times recognized pre-rolls made of just premium flower. No seeds, no stems, no bullshit. It's great stuff. And then, of course, the same stuff you hear us talk about all the time and the product that we love ever so much, and that is the product, the Dart.
The Dart.
Chris, tell me what your thoughts are about the Dart.
The Dart, she rips.
Dude, and
she tastes great.
Yeah, she does. And it's going to be a good time working with this team. I enjoy the folks that we're hanging out with, and I believe in the product. But that Dart is so sexy. I mean, I'd plug it if it wasn't so weird, because you don't have to hide it these days.
Yeah, and one thing I think we can confirm today, it's Louisville.
Yeah, it's not Louisville. Highly suspect conversation that we had last week. We brought it up with the team over at headquarters, and it is Louisville. But that's not our only sponsor. You know we love weed, and we love working with family-run, local-based companies, and that's where our friends at Callie's Cannabis come in. Callie's, as y'all have heard, for the whole summer series, they have opened 2 new locations. One location at 8th and Kenosha Court, right there. That's where their grow op is as well. So if you want to check it out, it's a gnarly spot. But our go-to location is the 31st in Larimer. So for those that like to party in Rhino, or those that are frequenting the area, they have a great rewards program. They have deals of the day. So no matter what you're doing, whether it's today that you're listening to this is Tuesday, which means if you spend $25, you get the $1 edible, $1 pre-rolled joint of your choice, or whatever the deal is. And if you're listening to this on Wednesday, it's Wax Wednesday. So that means that you're getting deals on Shatter out the door. You can't beat it. They have another location up in North Glen. So for those, we no longer Burby and shame Chris. We approve of the burbs now that, they've got a little zest and a little life to them. They've got gnarly bars up here. We're about to start teeing off up here. I've done Poor. I've done Waterloo. We're going to check off a lot of spots that the neighbors have given us recommendations to. So we're fired up to be out here in the burbs, not only for Seton Smith, but for Callie's up here as well. So, we got through.
That was a lot.
We did it right, though. We did intros and ad reads in the first 5 minutes. It's now the time to talk to our guests. Our first guest is Mike Limpert. He is the logistics director. I was going to say director of logistics, but logistics director is Either way. You're a regular guest on the podcast, but for those that maybe didn't hear episode 12, give us a quick refresher of who you are, how you got into the business, and how long you've been with Seton Smith.
Gotcha. Yeah. I've been with Seton Smith since pretty close to day one, early November of 2016. Prior to that, was over in the healthcare industry. Got an inkling that cannabis was kind of the future. Always had an interest in it, and found myself a pretty good offer and headed out here to Colorado for Seton Smith.
Back to the future. Sorry, kid.
Nice.
I didn't even hear anything after that you said. So how long have you been out here in Colorado?
Coming up on 6 years now.
And then with Seton Smith? About the same?
About 5, yeah.
Fuck yeah. So you've been from almost, the seed to sale. You've been with them from the start almost.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with jumping on right there at the beginning and riding this train.
That was it, and we're just getting started.
Yeah, and so before we get to Robbie, I want to ask you, what's your favorite part about being in having a second location in Louisville?
It's a totally different vibe. We're so used to having kind of ground zero out in the Montbello neighborhood, real industrial area. It's always going to be our home, but being able to expand out here to Louisville is exciting for us. A much more suburban feel. One of our owners, Brooks, is from Louisville originally, lives here now still, and he's
so y'all did this strictly because of Paul's friend wanting to fucking have a location in his backyard?
I think he had some motives there, yeah.
100%.
We know you did, Brooks, and I know you're listening to this because it's your company.
But ultimately, no, Louisville's a beautiful area. We're super excited to be in the neighborhood. There's a ton of real hometown feel to this, from street fair, all that stuff. So it's a bit different vibe than we're used to in Denver, and if I had the chance, I'd be up here every day.
Yeah, I mean, if we recall last time we discussed, you live out in the fucking boonies. So, I mean, yeah, I'm sure you love this. We went through 2 school zones on the way in. It's very quaint. There's kids riding their bikes. This is fucking Mayberry up here. I see why people like it.
They wave at you.
It's
amazing.
But they have a joint in their other hand, which juxtaposed
They're fucking
to where
high.
Yeah. I can see why they like their neighbors. It's a little bit different than where we grew up. And then our other guest today, that was a good intro, by the way. You did it best on part 2, player B.
Oh, great.
Let's
You're
see.
already best.
Shut
That's
the fuck up,
God,
Glauber.
Okay.
fucking Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
All right,
Introduce
Glauber,
me.
so it's been a minute since we spoke with y'all, so give our listeners a little bit of insight as to who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with Seton Smith.
I've been with Seton Smith for about 5 years now, actually about 4.5.
Yeah, go ahead and answer them backwards.
Five-ish. I am not from Minnesota at all. I don't
Great
know-
to
I
hear.
don't know what
Cool.
that is.
Where are you from?
I actually grew up a lot all over the place. I grew up in Illinois, I grew up in Georgia, and I grew up in Europe for most of my childhood.
Whoa, what part of Europe?
I was in Brussels. I was in Kiel, Germany.
Were you smoking spliffs?
I was smoking spliffs at a very
Nice.
young age. Yes.
When was the
yes.
first time you got high?
Oh, God, I was 13 years old in Northern Ireland.
Do your parents think less or more of you then or now?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a little too deep for the intro here.
Well, then we'll go back to Mike. No, I'm just kidding. So let's talk about your time here. I gave him the director of logistics. Let's see if I can not fuck this up. You're the director of community outreach. I did fuck it up. And so that's kind of how we've all become friends, is that you're very good at working in the community. Tell us a little bit about the excitement about coming to Louisville, and have you had any introductions to the neighbors?
I mean, I've been around.
Put the microphone in front of your face.
I've been around the community. I've been around the community for a couple weeks now. I've been, reaching out to different companies with you and everything like that. And no, we're excited to be around this area. Like Mike said, this is a very humble area. There's a lot going on. It's expanding, and personally for me, like the food scene downtown is really killing it. So I mean, I absolutely knew that you guys needed to be up here and experience a lot of this, along with our new shop, man. Like it's a different kind of shopping experience.
Yeah, and so y'all are right here on South Boulder Road. It's a stones. Y'all are kind of like, it's Louisville and you have Lafayette, so y'all kind of hit both. I think that's how you say it. That's how we say it back home. But y'all are kind of hitting two with one stone, and that's a fantastic spread of food. So I'm so glad that you reached out, because when we actually talk to our listeners, and our followers, we ask them to give us tips. And so for the next couple weeks, if not months, depending on if you do your job right, we are going to go gallivant around this town and party in the name of Seton Smith.
Well, and that's what we're here to do, right? We're bringing a new little life to this town that isn't
about.
seen yet. So
Hell yeah. And, we've got a lot of restaurants to talk about and things that we're excited about doing in the community. But y'all have been doing some pretty exciting things, not only in this community but in Denver. And so we want to talk a little bit about that as well. So we know y'all have, God bless you.
Glauber, you did great, by the way.
I thought that
Cheers.
Was, that was a good intro.
Nice.
was that better?
You're back on the A squad, Glauber.
Yeah,
Come on.
That was
Can
really
we
good.
pause
Job.
here and eat?
Yeah, so we're going to pause right quick.
2XL.
All right, guys. So I think we're all here to talk a little bit about what just happened this weekend. We had a big fucking time at the grand opening at the Louisville location. So let's give a little bit of our listeners, and for our new folks that are following because of the Louisville vibe, tell us a little bit about what we can expect going forward from this location, from daily deals to rewards programs and everything in between.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a new level of experience when it comes to shopping for cannabis up here. We definitely scoped out everybody in this area. Yeah. Can we redo that?
No, we're not going to redo shit.
Can we redo that? Can we
no.
cut?
Oh, my
Can we
God.
cut?
You
Can we-
need to relax.
I don't want to bash neighbors. Mike is right. And then as soon as he twinkled
Stop
his
looking
eye,
at him, you cunt. That's the word of the day.
Oh, my God.
that is your word, though. I mean,
Now I
you
don't feel so bad about us not putting up the last episode. It's definitely not us, guys.
It's not our
you.
fault at all. Yeah. Well, all right, here we go.
I'm
again.
just fucking with
Shut
y'all.
Up. Here we go. Don't fuck this up with this time. All right, so we're up here for a specific reason. We just had a huge fucking weekend, grand opening of the new location. What can we expect going forward with, like daily deals, rewards? What's on the docket for what the folks can expect here in